Hey, what's up guys? Sorry for the delay, but we are now back with TMsK versus aAa. Didn't even realise they were in the tournament, which should be a fantastic game. This is round 4, and I am once again joined by my great commentator, Spunnington. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello again. After
Nice,
40
spicing it
minutes.
up there, Spuddy. Yeah.
Hello again. Hello.
Okay.
Again.
Okay, so Morgana Zyra will be the first banned. Very interesting, Zyra will be banned from aAa, so obviously seeing that as a threat very early on into the release. I mean, it's only been released for a couple of days, and we might see Diana like released next week as well, because already the skills have been released. But yeah, Zyra was 1 week later, and already people are finding out how to play, so which is pretty fantastic. And then Ari will be the next ban. And yeah, what's your opinion on these, like, well, ban out all the AP carriers? What do you think about these?
Well, Morgana and Ari are kind of standard, just really safe, strong characters. Zyra is actually kind of interesting because it seems like people when she was first released seem to be saying she doesn't do very much damage, but I'm not seeing that from the play I've seen lately. And she has this enormous amount of crowd control for any normal AP carry. She has, you know, her ult with a massive AoE knockup, and she has a root and her crowd control plants. Shen and Alistair, obviously. Alistair, highly aggressive jungler or highly aggressive support, very strong in either role, just all around kind of hard to deal with. And Shen, global presence, has that kind of difficult. He's difficult to prevent him from split pushing while you're trying to do something. And Karthus picked, and Soraka picked. Soraka being kind of a counter to Karthus because every time he uses Requiem, she uses Wish to heal up whatever damage he does.
Yeah, exactly, and Cho'Gath potentially picked out, so already repping the new skins potentially released for Cho'Gath, and I'm hoping for Gentleman Cho'Gath. I mean, that would be absolutely fantastic, but very interesting, because the buffs have not yet come in for Cho'Gath, and yet Linak is picking that one out, so interesting.
Just trying to get in practice.
I guess so, yeah.
Oh, for those of you who don't know, by the way, on the public beta environment, there's a new Cho'Gath skin. It looks like it might be a Pulsefire Ezreal style theme, which is interesting. And Kog'Maw Nunu.
Kog'Maw Nunu. Yeah, of course it just has that inherent synergy because, of course, Kog'Maw has great strength with that on-hit W ability, and then Nunu just buffs it. Yeah, there's a lock-in with Kog'Maw. Wouldn't be surprised if we see this from Nunu. Could be a jungle Nunu because, obviously, you don't need it in lane, but also allows you to be aggressive there, but also has that great scaling even in team fights and then to late game because you still have that on your team. You do have Karthus in mid, very strong global presence, and just waiting for the picks from aAa once again against all authority. The only one I remember right here is Linak. I believe all the other ones are new, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember Linak, I don't remember the others. Maybe they've got different names at the moment.
Yeah, it might be just a name change that I don't recognise, but
yeah.
I'm not recognising any of them. But yeah. Something else about Nunu though is he synergizes really well with Kog, not only because he buffs his attack speed, but also because he just keeps the enemy off. He has that snowball and he has that ult, which just slows everyone trying to reach him.
Yeah, I think like Kog'Maw Nunu has the most synergy in a lane, just straight up, because so many things synergize. It's absolutely insane, and they have great trading ability, which you definitely don't have as a Kog'Maw, which is really nice to see. And wow, potentially a Veigar pickup? No, Galio. That's so sad, so sad. Had that been Ziggs or Veigar, that would have been absolutely amazing. Yordles for the win, but they will have the Galio and definitely the Ezreal. So Ezreal potentially looking to shut down that Kog'Maw because obviously gains a lot of synergy with that. Soraka can jump in, just tank all that damage. Also with the battery, mana healing, everything is just great for Ezreal. Just spam all day. And potentially Nocturne and Lee Sin picks up.
Yeah, also Ezreal has an attack speed debuff, so whatever Nunu buffs on him, he's going to knock it off again with his Essence Slugs. And yeah, infinite mana from Soraka. And actually, I'm kind of sad they didn't pick Veigar, because against Karthus in mid, he's really strong. Like, come level 6, he's almost guaranteed to explode him instantly. In land and event horizon, that is.
Yeah, it'd be fairly easy for him to farm as well, because Karthus generally pushes, because, well, the Q does a lot of damage to minions, and he will be usually last hitting because it's so easy to, and he would generally just be pushing the lane. Veigar looking to CS on the turret could probably do so quite easily. He does have that passive which allows him to, might even start with a Durant Drain. That wouden't be too bad considering its Karthus in this lane. Not got a lot of kill potential on him in early levels, and he's still got the event horizon just to keep himself safe. But ooh, Rumble once again evil, absolutely evil, and abusing that before the patch comes in.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised it's kind of not been banned out more, honestly, because he just exerts this huge pressure on anyone against him. He just, Flame Spitter does extreme amounts of damage, especially if you're in danger zone. It's, massive. And, yeah. I'm trying to think, Gallia versus Karthus. I imagine it's a lane that doesn't really go anywhere, which, to be fair, suits Karthus fine. And Aurelia top.
Against Rumble? Well, I like how we said that at the same time. It was like, what?
I guess it's one of those things where Aurelia's probably going to end up farming under tower for the first few levels, but Aurelia can handle that pretty well because she has that hit end style and she has Blade Surge to get, the last hits in on the creeps. Against Rumbler, he just has that pressure on her. I guess it's a viable build on Aurelia though to rush a Wit's End and Merc Dread, so yeah, I've not seen the matchup, but I'd give certainly the first few levels to Rumble and maybe post sort of 7-8 maybe to Aurelia.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Rumble, isn't it, really? He's a lane bully, and Aurelia does do well against lane bullies because, well, it's the first few levels she's not too strong, and she gets some levels, she's good to go. Maybe at level 9 she might be able to outtrade Rumble, but that's granting that she's not going to die beforehand. So, 3 minutes remaining on the delay. Anyone you want to look at, rune-wise, masteries?
Kind
of interested in either Rumble or Cho'Gath, honestly.
Yeah,
Take a look at Cho'Gath,
probably,
shall we?
Yeah.
Let's go. Linak. And taking a look at those runes, please do not bug on me, client, thank you very much. And dear, we have plus 13 armor, 24 scaling magic resist, 4.5 movement speed, and 15% attack speed. Moving on to the masteries, we have 0.29, yeah, that's what I meant to say, 0.219, going straight down to Juggernaut, taking Enlightenment, Initiator, and Veteran's Guards, and the Bladed Armor, interesting enough. And got the Swiftness and going down to Runic Affinity. I kind of looks like a... Is he Jungle Cho? Yeah, he is Jungle Cho.
Yeah, he's Jungle Cho.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Like it. Well, anyway, guys, we're going to skip to a quick commercial break, and after that, we'll be back in the game. TMsK versus All Authority. See you in a bit. Hello and welcome back to TMsK versus aAa Round 4, and I am once again joined by my amazing co-caster, Spuddington. Go ahead and say hello.
I am amazing, aren't I?
Yes!
Thank you. I'm glad
You
someone
are.
appreciates me.
Not getting that off Metis. Anyway, so we will have TMsK spacing out. Looks like they don't want to be invaded. I mean, do you expect an invasion right here? I mean, not an alien invasion, I mean, you know, an invasion from aAa.
Yes, I regularly expect alien invasions during my games. No, well, I'd imagine actually Cho'Gath would be quite strong in a level 1 fight, with Rupture being an AoE knock-up and a slow with it, and a significant nuke. But I will pay you a skin if you lose.
Nice.
Bravery. That's not sportsmanship.
Bro, yeah. I haven't seen that yet, honestly, in a tournament. Like, people bribing the opposition. I mean, it never usually
especially
happens.
in all chat.
Yeah. Quite clever.
But, yeah. But no, it doesn't look like either team is going for an invasion here. I guess for all the strength that I say Cho'Gath would have, he is somewhat alone in being massively strong in a level 1 fight. I mean, Ezreal and Galio pretty good poke, but Aurelia has Equilibrium Strike for some good CC, but she'd have to get in close and probably doesn't want to risk it. And yeah, meanwhile the other team would be, TMsK would be just able to hold them off and prevent them from really doing anything.
For sure, so Lenak will be starting out that blue buff because Cho'Gath jungle is kind of mana dependent, and Nocturne will be going for that standard route, looking for that fast 6, most likely getting that red buff halfway through level 5, then going for that gank with his level 6. So, first sort of laning phase for like 5-10 minutes, how do you think it's going to go? Take a lane.
Alright, so mid lane, Galio versus Karthus. Galio probably will have the advantage. He'll have some pretty decent poke on him at pretty decent range, and Karthus isn't the niftiest of characters for avoiding it. But, you know, he probably won't be pressured out of lane unless he really screws it up. Aurelia versus Rumble, I suppose, is probably the most interesting one. Rumble will probably start getting really dangerous around level 5, I'd say. And I guess that's really when Aurelia starts to get strong as well. But Rumble in the current patch has this huge pressure in that early stage. You know, just a lot of damage. It's very hard to avoid it. Though he does push the lane with it, which, as we've said, suits Aurelia because she can farm under tower almost completely reliably. Then again, Cho'Gath is looking for a gank up there, so...
Yeah, he's going to just have the buff. Very tiny Cho. It's disturbingly small. But he will be opening up with the Rupture, missing that, following up with the Pharaoh Scream as well, but only really proving to get some harass on him, and that's pretty much it. We'll be waiting in the bush, however, as exerting that pressure onto Kickers, but he will be recalling as well. Really nice thing to do because, well, you don't know how long Lineker is really going to stay. Landing the Rupture this time around into the Pharaoh Scream, chasing after this one along with Aurelia. Just more pressure, really, and they need to do this on 2 Kickers because last game you saw it. You let Rumble just scale out of control and bully his opponent, then it's not going to be good times.
He went something like 12-3 against Vlad and just 2v1 people easily. And yeah, not a fun thing to deal with. But that is kind of my problem with Cho'Gath jungle that I've seen, is Rupture is hard to land. Probably in the next patch, when they decrease the cast time, it'll become a lot more reliable. You might actually see more of it, because Cho'Gath is an extremely sustained and actually pretty fast jungle clear, but yeah, his ganks rely on you landing Rupture, which in current patch isn't very reliable.
Yeah, for sure, and as you said, they're reducing the cast time on Pharaoh Scream as well, so yeah, we could see more of Cho'Gath just with the cleanup on the bug fixes, then yeah, for sure.
Cho'Gath has a bit more kind of... He has more in him. You know, he has a really nice kit. He has really good CC on him, and he has a scaling true damage nuke before Darius. Yeah, he's an interesting character, but...
Oh, like... Ghost is going to find Aurelia and top, following after with the tether. There it is. Fear has gone down, looking flash over the wall. There it is. Double flash straight after. That was pretty classy, and first blood will be picked up by Kickers, and that is not good to have when it's a Rumble you're facing off against. Meanwhile, bottom Linak looking for a gang onto Etnex, misses the Rupture once again, and Cleanse will go down, stopping that Ignite from coming down for the finish. Rupture goes down, but Jurassic Cogmore just going to be out there by Oh, about a Teemo.
I thought you were going to make some kind of Jurassic pun.
I was going to, but also the Teemo like sort of measurement was there, so.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Fun fact, if you didn't know it, Riot actually measures distance in Teemos in the game engine. It's about 50 of their arbitrary units.
Yeah.
So they just say it's a Teemo.
About half a Teemo, like away.
Half a Teemo? You know, pretty professional method of. I think well, we need to lower the range on this. His ability is a little bit long. Let's take it down by a third of a Teemo. Very slight, very, gentle show. Wait, hang on, gentle touch. I just said gentle show without even meaning to. I'm looking at a gentleman Cho'Gath while I'm doing it. By the way, the classiest of skins. As an owner of it myself.
Plugging! Anywho, we will have Linak looking for another gank in mid. I don't know what he's trying to achieve. Maybe Star AQ. I think that's a Pokemon looking for potentially the ultimate. No, Linak just gonna go and head back.
Get you one of them Pokemons.
Pokemons. I don't know why people say Pokemons. It's clearly an O. The best of the English.
But yeah, Nocturne hasn't ganked. He's only ganked top, didn't he? Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
I think that's his only gank thus far. So we're thinking, like you say, probably fast level 6, and that's really when Nocturne gets a lot of his ganking power because he can bypass your wards, bypass anything pretty much, and just jump on you and start off with damage nuke, and yeah, really hurts. It's a lot of damage.
Galtard just stealing Linak's race. Good job. That was pretty amazing. Like, Galio couldn't respond, he didn't really have the mana for it, he needs us for farming, so Galtard just gonna go ahead, lay waste that large minion, and thank you very much, I'll be taking that one.
In so doing, though, that does actually tell them they probably have a ward that can see it.
True.
I mean, it might be worth it because they probably could have guessed anyway, since Karthus backed off when Cho'Gath came to gank. But, it's more of one of those kind of meh, I got you kind of things than a major deal.
But sometimes those are the best because they are pretty demoralizing and hilarious. So, I've got to give it to Galtard. That was pretty strong. So
psychology plays.
Exactly, messing with the mind. It's all about the mind. Rumble just exerting the pressure onto Irelia already. Xiao, wow, Q. Is
so many Qs.
Not doing too well, and that's what we kind of expect until she gets some levels. I'm expecting at level 9 she might be able to do some trading, but right now that Flame Spitter from Kickers is ridiculous, and the Danger Zone extra increase in damage, like 30% or something ridiculous at the moment. Yeah. So it's not going to be fun times for Irelia, and they really can't let that lane scale out of control because that's really what's going to bite them in the arse when it comes to late game, because last game we saw it was like, what, 12-3 Rumble? I wasn't casting it, but I was watching it. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, he was so strong. And Rumble, is this... If you can see what he's doing now, he's keeping Aurelia even out of XP range. He doesn't want her to reach that point where she could trade with him, because then he wouldn't be able to bully her as much anymore, ironically. So I think Aurelia might need some jungle pressure, but right now, Rumble is just going to keep driving her off whenever she goes near anything. But
and she's actually going to go with the tasers and the ignite and the ultimate as well, and that will be a very easy kill, choking off about 50% of her health in, what, less than 3 seconds with the massive CC. Wow.
Yeah. Well, the equalizer actually does a bit of burst damage when it comes down as well. It's not that significant late game, but it's pretty nice to have early on. So there's an extra damage nuke.
More than a single tick, I think. Like the initial damage,
Yeah. So that was good judgment on Kix's part. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily have gone for that because I'm an idiot, but Aurelia...
We're actually going straight on to next, and Goat coming out of nowhere. Requiem goes down as well. Lena coming in from the side. Wu taking a lot of damage. Doesn't have the red buff from Goat. Flash goes down. Already used the arcane shift. Snowball hits Good in the face. Oh, and the Dustbringer. That was some significant damage. I wasn't expecting that.
Got hit by a Coggold at the same time.
Oh, really? Right.
Yeah. So,
wow. Nice. Got the pickup on Soraka.
Yeah, just thought you'd gotten away, didn't you? But no. That was unfortunate actually for Soraka. I bet she thought she was away.
Long range nukes, and it looks like, what are they going to do? Potentially going on to Drake. Do they have any vision wards?
Risky. but
Risky,
they could get away with it.
Yeah,
Since
actually
ult
going to
is
catch
down.
Nunu. They might be able to get pick here instead. I mean, even better. Ignite goes down and slow. And ultimate from
Ooh.
Cho'Gath. Ooh, it
Nunu escaping by the skin of his teeth from
yeah,
Cho'Gath's teeth.
Feast didn't go down because he lost vision. And that's very reminiscent of the game we had yesterday where I believe it was Mordekaiser,
annoying.
yeah. It was really irritating. Rupture goes down, but Goats did have spell shot anyway.
Yeah, the Nick nearly dies to Dragon, but Soraka saves him. Yeah, this is the problem with trying to take Dragon when the enemy's aware of
Kaltar,
it.
Flash goes down to him from Starry QQQ, and that will just be the Fist of Fury from Galio finishing that one off.
Like a headbutt.
I don't know what it is, man. I mean, with the skin, it's kind of different. Hang on, I'm gonna watch. That's hit that minion. Looks like Fist of Fury to me.
Oh yeah, it is kind. Yeah, it is kind of a punch. Yeah, all right, I'll give you that one.
1 up to Pulse. Yeah, 1-0.
You sure know your auto attack animations.
Yeah, as an AD carry myself. Anywho, Wu is just getting chunked up by NX. He's at the stage where he can pretty much trade with him. That's scary as a prospect for Ezreal, since he is usually that proc carry who does have that extra advantage in late, but Kowa just zoning him out. Once again, at top, Xiao is just not having a good time versus Kickers. 2-0 right now, and 0-2 on Irelia's part. Has got the double Magic Mantle, and Equalizer goes down just to farm the creeps and irritate Xiao in one swoop. Very nice to see.
It means that she's going to take longer to go back, so she'll have a worse time. But actually,
Lennox. Rupture goes down. I don't even think they're going to go on this though, but he did use his ultimate. I'm surprised they didn't really initiate. I suppose they thought that Irelia might die to it, and Kickers just trying to disrupt both of them from recalling. Cho'Gath will be out there, falling behind the turret, and the longer he gets or stops Xiao from recalling, the more creeps he's going to lose to turret. Like, he's already lost this wave, and he's pushed another wave to the turret. I don't know why Xiao is like, just go back. Just go further back. Because now Rumble is at your second turret. Nocturne looking for a gank here as well. Irelia? Just move!
Why?
Oh man.
Yeah, but that was probably why he ulted him in the first place. He knew he wasn't going to kill him.
Oh, Starry Q has been caught by Kaltard. I don't think he's got the mana really to follow up in this one. Ghost coming in from the side. Are they going to go for the dive? Galio does not have ultimate, but Exhaust was popped as well. So they're coming around the side for the counter initiate just in case anything janky happens. We should be out of there.
Actually, wait, why is Goats? Goats is quite a low level at this point. I mean, I thought we were going for the fast level 6 with this, but he's been level 6 for quite a while. Like, long enough for his ult to have been used and cooled down again. I wonder if he's been denied his jungle quite a lot. I mean, Cho'Gath is actually a very strong invader of the jungle because he has Feast, which is 1,000 damage true damage nuke, and it actually outdoes Smite, even at a level 18. So it's actually amazing for Baron steals. Yeah, I haven't really been noticing it. I'm just wondering if maybe Karthus has been stealing it too much. If he's been taking Wraiths all the time, then Nocturne's going to be a little bit farm-starved comparative to how we like to be.
True. Oh, Zhao is looking to... Well, actually, Rumble's taking full shots to the face, but doesn't even care. Actually looking for the dive on this one. Flame Splitter goes down. Flash goes down as well from Rumble. And the Ignite will finish Zhao off before he can react. That is kind of depressing. Linak looking for a gank at bottom, but in the meantime, he is just going to go ahead and gank his attacks that lane and just take some creeps from Wu.
Rumble, man. So strong right now. He just... What does he have? He's 3-0, and Hextech Revolver, Giant Spell, Boots 1, and a Ward, and he's just doing so much more
meanwhile,
damage.
mid Starry Q, pops the ultimate and will just barely miss Kaltard, who flashes out of it. And that was a really well-timed flash from Kaltard. He basically knew he was going to go for that ultimate. It was just scripted and perfect flashed away from it, basically. In fact, Rumble could be caught. Linak lands the Rupture, misses the Resolute Smite because of it, but even so, that will be to shut down with Fist of Fury. And Kaltard will be pushing out that lane. Once again, Galio not picking up kills with his skills. Kills with the kills, I like it. But with the Fist of Fury, so fantastic. Should invest him in some AD here, Galio. Doing work.
I'm not convinced. You could always get Lich Bane. That'd be hilarious. It synergizes. It's magic resist. No, but I've got to say, actually, bot lane. If you look at it right now, what's the CS difference? Cogma's 115 and Ezreal is 83. There's no kills that have gone down, but Ezreal is miles behind. He's taken,
Yeah.
he's lost, what, 2 kills worth of CS? That's a lot of gold to be losing.
Linux trying to even this one up because he has approached Instabush for the 3rd time in 2 minutes. Rupture goes down, lands on Etnex, and Essence Flux goes down as well, and up you go. He will be out of there. Once again, a failed gank. However, Nocturne is on his way. Will he get anything done? We're just getting chunked up by Etnex. As you said, he's fairly far behind without any kills really going down. TMsK will be mobilizing for this trade. They have 5 people there. To be a 3 versus 5 at best for the first 4 seconds or so. And Kicker's coming in from the side. Blue team gets the dragon. Kicker's following up on this one. Linak will surely fall. Actually, he's just carrying on trucking. He just keeps on going. Kaltar trying to die in the most opportune place that he can. Will pick up the kill onto Soraka. Now turning his attention to Starry Q. Requiem goes down as well. Ultimate lands on 4 people. Could this be the turnaround? Aurelia trying to get that kill onto Nunu. Meanwhile, Etnex just tearing him down from the side. Duke from Nunu whooping out with the Blade Surge. Kickers finishing him off with those tasers. That was a 4 for 3. That was considerably more messy than I expected it to be.
Yeah, well, it was that Galio ult, I think, that really did them. And coupled with the Requiem picking off people who thought they got away safely. But this is what I'm noticing about Team Megashark. They have a really good habit of calling Baron Dragon really effectively. They always do it when they know they can get it before the enemy can really react. And they do it in a way that just makes it impossible for them to contest, and it's just free gold. You know, it was in the last game we saw them in, they were, for instance, because Rumble was snowballing out of control so much, the enemy kept sending 3 men up top. They would just take Dragon in that time. So yeah, you killed Rumble or whatever, take it free. In this case, I think it was because they had all 5 members down there while Aurelia was still top. They just took it for free, easy. Again, just Dragon, and that is so much more worthwhile than an average kill. Yeah, I'm still bemused actually as to why Ezreal is such a long way behind Cogmore. I mean, now that he's got a kill and some assists, he might be catching up a bit more, but he just doesn't seem to be CSing as well.
No, he's about 800 gold behind, purely on that alone. I mean, well, there is a ward in that bush, so Goat has been seen. But once again, yeah, Etnex just doing work. Like, not Rumble, Nunu allows a lane like that to be more aggressive, because generally as a Cogmore you expect to be 1 to 2 waves behind, because you are just significantly weaker, because you have the late game scaling ability, and he's just chunking off Ezreal right now. There's nothing he can do in return. Like, he starts trading with him, he loses, and then Nunu punishes him by the snowball going down, and then Etnex has the massive range. That's an extra, 5 attacks. Wu once again in a bad position, Arcane Shift goes down, Etnex looking to follow this one up, but it's just the punishing ability. It's like Ezreal tries to go for a trade, and then even if he backs off to get away from the trade because he knows he's won, then Cogmore's going to carry on because he's got significantly longer range with the W. So yeah, he just can't win it.
Yeah, this is why it's such a horrible situation to be in against Nunu Cogmore. Because if you trade, you get attack speed slowed, and you lose. If you try and poke at long range, you've got Cogmore ult, and you've got Cogmore range. If you try and go all in on them and dive in, Nunu will just ult and kill you. If you try basically anything, if you try to just poke him and run away, Nunu will slow you, and Cogmore will follow you with range and get in so many attacks for free. There just is no counterplay except having your jungler gank. And even if he does, Cogmore Nunu is still very resilient because they have Nunu, who just might have to sacrifice himself, but by Jove, he's going to keep you off Cogmore.
Yeah, exactly. You can run all the scenarios you want, but they'll still lose. Ghost has actually been caught in the enemy jungle. Ignite goes down. Can Starry Q follow up with the damage? Resolute Smite goes down. Will he die? Ultimate goes down once again, but flashes away from this. Is the second time great reactions have gone down. Nunu actually about to be picked up by Ezreal. Dukes the ultimate. Will they follow up on this one? Q misses as well, and Nunu is out of there. 1 versus 2, and has just left. It's fine. Bye.
Yeti.
And yeah, Yeti. Kick is just tearing into Zhao. That is some insane damage just from 2 ticks of the Flame Spitter and tasers. Wow, it's 8 and 5 right now, 4k advantage, but everyone was winning all over the board, pretty significantly when you look at it.
Yeah.
Actually, Kick is looking for the gank on the top. Will land the rupture in range of tower. Flash goes down, and he is currently silenced because of himself turning around. Will this be enough damage for Koffs to pick this one up? I don't think it will be. They have the bleed on with the ignite, but won't be enough.
TMsK saves the day.
Yep.
But this is the thing about Rumble, which is why Riot are nerfing him next patch, is he was balanced around his Flame Spitter being like the way it checked its damage in the game engine was it just did it randomly. Well, not randomly, but on a pattern that you couldn't possibly predict. And they changed that last patch so that it became much more reliable. Like, it started when you started the ability. But that made it horrendously overpowered. And now it obviously pressures so much, does so much damage. And
yeah. It's just kind of ridiculous because you can predict how much damage it's going to do, and obviously I think it's increased in ticks as well. So yeah, you can just judge it, and it's just ridiculous. So Danger Zone didn't help, being plus 30% damage. So they're nerfing that as well.
It was always that, but it was the under the hood changes that made it so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of it's kind of reminiscent of when he was released, actually, when he just had that insane pressure as well. And it looks like we have a blue timer for purple team here.
Not sure
it looks like Team Mega Shark might be sort of hovering around. Oh no, it's Dragon, that's what they're after.
There we go, and they're really not in position to contest. Yeah, exactly. Zhao just really has to farm. Like, he can't afford to go for those team fights because they know they'll lose. Like, they don't have a scenario right now where they can win. Like, okay, Galio was great for those sort of small skirmishes, but it's moved past that stage, and they really haven't gone in for those aggressions, which really is where Galio shines. It's only when they've invaded, Galio's turned around the great ultimates, which should have been in the enemy jungle. So, once again, it's kind of like they should have been invading, but does their comp allow for it? I'm not really sure. Once again, Iranian was pushed in at top, so there was very little she could do, and Cho'Gath was just didn't really have the potential. In fact, Initiate could go down 5 versus 4, ultimate lands onto 4 people. Soraka taking a brunt of the damage, Kaltar dying behind the lines, and that'll be a 1-4-2 trade so far, chasing after Wu right now. Will he get out? A very little chance to. Nowhere he can really run with that dead Carthers ready to rip into him. Linak actually looking to do nothing, and will flash it out over the turret. Irene has come down, but it's
too little too late, I'm
yeah,
afraid.
Exactly.
She might be able to clear a creep wave with her ult. I think that's all she can really hope to do under this circumstance if she doesn't want to get dived.
It might happen anyway, really. I mean, she can't get too close even for the Transcendent Blades, because those tasers will just make her pretty much immobile with that stacking slope, but they will be backing off right now. And let's take a look at Rumble's build, actually. He does have the Ryla's Crystal Scepter, so that stacking slow is going to be absolutely ridiculous. One taser has like pretty much made Linak impossible to stop moving again. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's a significant slow on its own, and then you add that as well. But like you, back to the point you were making earlier about making invades with Galio and his strength in the jungle fight.
Oh, Kikis is actually going to be dived on by Zhao. I don't know if this dive is really going to pay off for them. They might get Rumble, but they're all going to die for it. Maybe? Goat is potentially going to fall as well. Linek dies. Zhao trying to get out here. And Voidu goes down. 2 carries still alive from Team Megashock. And that has pretty much forced everyone who's left alive from aAa to get out there.
Yeah, but yeah, like I was saying, all the strength that Galio has in the jungle is because it's a very tightly compact environment, and you can ult as many people as you can. You can apply the exact same logic to Karthus, Nunu, and Rumble. They have ults that really work well in the jungle, so an invasion in the early game maybe wasn't even on the cards. It might have been what they intended when they first picked him, but it doesn't work out if you're going to be faced up against that much AoE in return. Especially when your own team has, yes, Cho'Gath in sort of a small AoE, and yes, Ezreal to a certain extent, but not on the same level. Like, it's not their main damage sources.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, early game, I mean, Ezreal's ult does significant amounts of damage, and maybe, as you said, that's what they were looking for in the original composition, but Team Megashock's picks just didn't allow for it. And I think the ways the lanes went as well, like, you can only really go for those invades where you're very slightly ahead. Like, you don't need to be massively ahead, but you have to have some sort of advantage where you'll actually win the trade-off, or be able to pick them off with some CC, yeah, that's why you have Galio. But the lanes didn't really allow for it, because, well, Galio didn't really shut down Karthus at all, which you really can't, because it's more of a farm lane than anything, and it looks like Cho'Gath at bottom lane could be picked. Okay, Nunu's just going to walk past him and snowball him in the face, it's fine. Everyone regrouping, I mean, they're pushing down mid. It can't be already, it's only just gone down, hasn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that long, but for some reason, Team Megashark wanted to circle around.
Ultimate goes down, possibly cutting off Garly. Ultimate goes down, they will be trying to get the kill. Tether will land, Fear goes down. Dangerously a Baron pit. I mean, honestly, right now, Garly's best chance is just to anger Baron and see if he can do some damage. But
give me some damage, boy.
But it's very hit and miss in that scenario. It's like, well, don't hit me, but, you know, kill everyone else. But right now, 4 versus 5, they're nuking down this Baron disturbingly fast. When it goes down by Ezreal, will be smited by that Nocturne. Fantastic timing. And always nice to see from the jungler.
Karthus, Kog'Maw, Nocturne, Rumble, all high damage sources, and Nunu has Consume.
Yeah.
They're going to have a really fast objective clear on things like that. And actually, yeah, you were just saying about using Baron to kill an opponent. I'm just remembering a play I saw by Froggen once where he walled someone in as a Nivea and aggroed Baron. And trapped them in with Baron, which then proceeded to kill them because they were ward clearing.
Amazing.
That was brilliant play to watch.
Yeah, I mean, if the situation allows for it, I mean, that's absolutely incredible. But it's those quirky little plays which can really win you a fight, because people don't expect it, and it's just good mechanical skill. It's like when we saw Shen. Were you in that game where he flashed while using his Shadow Dash, and then so he flashed onto them, but because Shadow Dash was still in his animation, then the way the game checks it is that whoever he makes contact with will be taunted.
Yeah. So essentially the very last instant of his Shadow Dash was just dropped instantly on top of them because of Flash, and it taunts them as per normal. So yeah, it's just something you really don't expect, but it does require a lot of precision. I haven't tried it myself for some interesting and fairly obvious reasons, in that I am not precise.